Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Welcome to races 19, 20 and 21 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. We're at Road Atlanta today in Georgia, the full circuit, just over 4 kilometers in length and 12 corners. Should be an interesting 3 races for these guys tonight. Well, good evening, everybody. Adam Bath here with Sam Kumo on the cameras, and we'll start by taking you through the championship standings heading into this race meeting. Stelian Chepelevsky and Diogo Melro, the 2 Discovery drivers, leading the way at the top. 97 points between them, though. Ben Hackerson in third for GBR, trying to keep up with them with his 3 wins to his name so far this season. Rob Plumley in 4th, brilliant job by him for ProSim, considering I don't think he's actually won a race yet this season. No, he hasn't. 5th place is Stephen Baxter for Radical Racing UK with his teammate Adam Hadfield in 6th. The 2 Radicals drivers able to get on the podium altogether about 5 times this season. Then it's Richard Gore in 7th for Bermuda. Kip Stevens in 8th for ProSim. Paul Smith in 9th place, accompanying his 1 win this season back at Interlagos. And rounding out the top 10 is the first BSR Club Series champion in Maciek Sakovic. Moving over to the AM standings, Stephen Minton leading the way there. Adam McNally in 2nd for Youth Energy. Jason Greenfield 3rd, Gareth Hickling 4th, Jamie Ayres 5th, 6th Dave Crozier, 7th Forstein Helgeson, 8th Cesario Rizzo, 9th Steve Walker and 10th Gavin Wakefield. And in the team standings, it is Discovery leading the way there with their 7 wins this season. And second is ProSim, only 1 win to their name this season, but shows you the consistency that Rob Plumley and Kip Stevens have been able to achieve this season. Bermuda in 3rd, yet to win this season. 4th is GBR with 4 wins. They're the 2nd highest team in terms of wins, but 4th in the championship. Radical Racing UK in 5th, Youth Energy 6th, Team Mad in 7th, and an Automech 8th, and Engineer Directs without any points. Well then, qualifying is just underway at the moment. 15-minute session for the drivers to set their time around this short circuit here at Road Atlanta. Full circuit, as we were saying today. Currently on pole position is Diogo Melro. Melro's only been on the pole position once so far this season. That was race 1 back at Suzuka, and when he got that, he went on to win the race. So good foreshadowing for him at the moment. Stelian Chepelevsky, he's just starting a lap now though, with just under 10 minutes left in the session. So we'll see if car 69 and the championship leader is able to get himself any further up the grid. Ben Hackerson currently sitting 2nd on the grid. Last won race 3 at Sonoma. Has won 3 races this season. Won race 1 at Watkins Glen, and then backed it up with a win in race 3. And then that 3rd race win in race 2 at Sonoma last week. And that was a pretty good race meeting. Me and Conrad Venter in the commentary box for that one last week. An enjoyable race meeting there. You can check that back out on the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel. And now at Road Atlanta as we begin our road towards the end of the season. We race here at Road Atlanta today. Then next week we're at Lime Rock Park. Going to be tight and congested around that circuit. And then we end the season at Circuit Park Zolder. Then a break, a week 13 break. And Imola, Sebring, Silverstone International. And that is at the beginning of April. So who will be looking a fool on April Fool's Day in the final race meeting of the championship FOD? Try and stick that in there somewhere. Stelian Chepelevsky coming through the final corner then. His personal best is a 1:24.843. Comes across the line just a 1:23.997. Puts him into 2nd place, just a few hundredths of a second behind Diogo Melro. Stelian Chepelevsky has been able to win races when he hasn't been on pole position. He won race 3 in the opening race meeting of the season at Brands Hatch. And won race 1 at Interlagos after his teammate Diogo Melro started on the pole position there. So Stelian Chepelevsky can get it done if he isn't on the pole position. And so just not too far behind Diogo Melro. And those are the only 2 drivers that have been able to get inside the 1:24s. Everyone else, Ben Hackerson on back, all setting times of 1:24.0 or lower. Not really a big grid here today in the BSR Kia Cup Series. As far as entries go, we've only got 22 cars here. Of course, that's nothing to complain about. Formula One in real life can barely get 22 cars on a grid, but yeah, considering in previous race meetings we've been seeing entries of 30 cars plus, it's not too good. But to be fair, I wouldn't race around the circuit anyway. I think Conrad Venter would agree with me. We were saying last week at the end of our Sonoma broadcast that we're not big fans of this Road Atlanta circuit. It is very technical and it is very hard to overtake as well. The corners are very high speed. Really, the only overtaking spot you've got is at the end of the long back straight going into the chicane. Turn 1, very high speed. Really, just a click down one of the gears and then you're in there. And then you've got the S's section, which is so hard to get right, and it's very frustrating as well, because then if you make the slightest mistake, you pick up an incident point there, and then you're done for the rest of the lap in terms of qualifying. Who else is on a lap? Kip Stevens is going into the final chicane now. Say that, he goes off. That teaches me. Diogo Melro, he's just behind Kip Stevens' teammate Rob Plumley. Diogo Melro did a 124.180 last time around. His personal best and provisional pole is a 123.959. Comes across the line and improves on his last lap. It's a 124.120, but stays in pole position. Jamie Ayres 126.374. He's going to stay where he is for now. Want to see if Stalin Shepelevsky's on a fast lap or not. He's on his way towards the chicane. This is the overtaking spot that I was talking about. Gliding his way through there. It looks like it's quite easy to take a lot of speed into that corner and pay the price. And I believe it's a one-car rule for this session, so hence why Stalin Shepelevsky doesn't park it up and decide to go straight away. So I've been caught out from that. Oh, my hands up! I did that Summit Point in the World Series last season. Got a back of the grid penalty for Donington Park, which was the following race meeting. Apparently I didn't serve it, but I can assure you, viewers, I did serve it. I didn't take part in qualifying, mainly because I turned up to the session just as qualifying was ending. So, yeah, well, never mind now. I'm getting off a bit off track here. Ben Hackerson, he's coming into the final chicane now. Currently sitting in third. Hasn't had a pole position to his name yet this season. However, has been on the podium a grand total of, as I flick across my timing sheet, 5 times, 5 podiums for Ben Hackerson this season. 3 of those are wins. Can he get himself any higher up the grid? Comes through the final corner now, and it is another invalid lap for Ben Hackerson. Must have picked up an off track somewhere, so he's going to go again. And how long we've got left in the session? 16 seconds. So this will be his final lap in the qualifying session. Who else is coming around to start a flying lap? Checker flag is going to be out in just a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. There's a checkered flag. Matej Sakovic going into the final chicane now. He's got his Team Mad's teammate behind him in Dave Crozier. Team Mad running a brilliant colour scheme this season, I must say. Through the final corner. 126.579 for Matej Sakovic, and that is not an improvement, I can tell you that, and slides his way into the first corner. Dave Crozier 126.598, not an improvement from him at all. Kip Stevens comes across the line in invalidated lap, so he doesn't improve. Anyone else that's just come across the line? We've had Adam Delmont 125.215, not an improvement from him. Adam Hadfield 124.350, that is an improvement from Adam Hadfield. The Radicals driver goes into 6th place. Max Wright 124.560, not an improvement from him. Jason Greenfield an invalidated lap. Stephen Baxter the same for him. Lee Barmer 125.86, that puts him into 18th place. I think that's the first lap time he's set. Jim McFadden going for the final corner now for Automech. 124.023, that puts him into 3rd position and demotes Ben Hackerson down a spot. Stu McFadden ever improving in this Kia Optima. He's been on the podium 3 times this season. Last time he was on the podium was race 1 in Sonoma. He got a 2nd place there, and his other podiums were 2nd place in race 3 in the opening race meeting of the season at Brands Hatch, and a 3rd in race 4 of the season at Suzuka. Stalin Shepelevsky didn't improve on his time either. So who else have we got on a lap? Kip Stevens is still going, but I do believe the checkered flag is out, so Kip racking up the air miles here. Watch him go and put in a time now and make me look like a fool. Going for the final corner, Kip Stevens. That's another invalidated lap, but Practice makes perfect, say Kip. That might help you in terms of the race coming up later. Kip Stevens has 2 pole positions to his name this season, both coming in reverse grids. Race 3 at Phillip Island back at the beginning of February, and last week he was on pole position in race 2 at Sonoma, so we can expect him to be up there later in the broadcast possibly, if the reverse grid works in his favour. Time to run you through the grid then as the cars head down now. Starting on pole position, Diogo Melro. 2nd, Selin Shepelevsky. 3rd for Stuart McFadden. 4th, Ben Hackerson. 5th, Julian Janowski. 6th, Adam Hadfield. 7th, Peter Van Gool. 8th, Thomas Gibson. 9th, Max Wright. 10th, Stephen Baxter. 11th, Rob Plumley. 12th, Magic Sakovic. 13th, Kip Stevens. 14th, Adam Delmont. 15th for Dave Crozier. 16th for Jamie Ayres. 17th, Jason Greenfield. 18th, Lee Barmer. And then the cars didn't set a time, most likely due to penalties. 19th, Tristan Bodis. 20th, Cesare Rizzo. 21st, Adam McNally. And 22nd, Gavin Wakefield. 22 cars going to be lining up then for 3 15-minute races around this this circuit. I'll quickly load up the penalties just to see who we're dealing with here. I'll tell you that Stuart McFadden has picked up 3 points on his BSR licence after gaining an unfair advantage. Lost an appeal on that. I can read you the full penalties as I load up the session now. We've got... Oh, I'll read you for them later on actually, because the revs are beginning to rise for race 1 of the day here. Green light is on. Diogo Melro gets a good jump away from the line. What's Stelin Shepelevsky going to try and do? Sheppy gets a good jump in the second phase of the start. It looks like he's going to take the lead away from his teammates. So championship leader Stelin Shepelevsky should lead into the first corner, sliding his way in. Is he going to make the corner? Runs out wide. Here comes Stuart McFadden. He's through into second. Is he going to take the lead by the time we get to turn 3? No, I don't think he is. And Diogo Melro might fancy his chances of taking that second place back. So it looked like that Stuart McFadden could have taken the lead. He's now back down to 3rd place, and Ben Hackerson all over the back of that Automech car, trying to take the position away. Through the S's for the first time. On cold tyres as well. Early morning conditions here in Georgia. Now over the rise and towards the 2 90-degree right-handers. I'm afraid Road Atlanta doesn't do us much service in terms of corner names. All of them really numbers. And now through the second right-hander and onto the long straight for the first time, and a chance for us to see how good the slipstream is around this circuit. Building up speed, and we'll also get to see what the top speeds are like in these Kia Optimas. We'll see if any of the drivers have gone for a low downforce setup. Diogo Melro, is he going to try and take the lead back away from his teammate Stelin Shepelevsky? Looks like he's too far behind in these early stages of the race. Stuart McFadden also close to Diogo Melro going into the chicane at the end of the backstreet for the first time. Stephen Baxter, there's all sorts of all over the place. Max Wright's got into Peter Van Gool. Van Gool's around, collects Thomas Gibson. And also off was Stephen Baxter. He took a trip across the gravel, and on his roof, Thomas Gibson. Not the start that he would have wanted at all. Won race 3 at Sonoma. 0-0 for him, and a trip back to the pits. And yeah, not what he would have wanted at all. Stephen Baxter has served his slowdown penalty at the end of the first lap, and he is now down in 10th place. I think he might still be serving it actually. Huge slowdown penalty if you do cut that final chicane. He's down to 15th place now, maybe make that 16th place, 17th. It's all not going well at all for him. And yeah, Max Wright, of course, was the car that got involved in contacts with, I don't know, Stephen Baxter actually might have a problem with the car, hard to tell. Finish for lead then. Diogo Melro relinquished it to Stelin Shepelevsky. Oh no, Diogo Melro's taken the lead away from Stelin Shepelevsky, I should say. And it's all bunching up here in the lead battle. Actually, Sakovic dropping down the order. What's happened to our Club Series, our first Club Series champion? Another slowdown penalty? Probably looks like it. Just looking on the replay briefly. Yeah, even if you lose an advantage through that first part of the chicane going on the grass, you still have to serve a slowdown penalty, and that's what's happened to Sakovic. Here comes McFadden up the inside for 2nd place. Past Stelin Shepelevsky, contact made, and he's able to rescue the car. You can do that in these Kia Optimas. When we've been covering the MX-5s the last few weeks, hasn't been going well at all. Yeah, slowdown for Maciej Sakovic. Going through the final corner, Adam Hadfield trying to get past Ben Hackerson. So Hackerson started, what was it, 4th on the grid? And Adam Hadfield getting by in that Radicals car. Radicals online. Topsy-turvy top day now. Diogo Mauro, the pole sitter, back in the lead. Second is Stuart McFadden. Zane Shepelevsky was leading at this point a lap ago. He's in third. Fourth, Julian Janowski. Fifth, Adam Hadfield. Sixth, down 2 positions, is Ben Hackerson. And Rob Plumley, seventh. Eighth, Adam Delmont, up 6 positions. Ninth, Tristan Bodice, up 10 positions as well. And Cesare Rizzo rounding out the top 10. So brilliant start by the GBR car of Tristan Bodice, trying to get up near his teammate Hackerson, who's doing well. Okay, the cars that are in the pits: Max Wright, Stephen Baxter, Chick Sakovic and Thomas Gibson. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in the pits already, 17 cars out on track. So well, the reverse grid's going to be interesting. I wonder what will happen if we get a big number, because I think we might just have to hit our limit, and that means we could have a few falls. Ben Hackerson then, right on the rear of Adam Hadfield. Hadfield having to go on a defensive here, going into the chicane. Radicals online versus Gombrek Racing. Contact made with the left rear, and off goes Hackerson. Also off is Julian Janowski. What happened to Janowski there? Car 48. I think he lost it on his own, actually, going into... Oh, he lost it, I think, taking evasive action after Stuart McFadden got sideways going through the... Well, that seems to be the tricky spot on the circuit. Janowski's got a whole load of damage to the front of his Kia Optima now, and he's down the order, right with his teammate Kip Stevens, down 8 positions from where he started, Julian Janowski. And that just changes matters again. Inside the top 10 anyway, make that inside the top 5. Diogo Mauro seems to be away at the moment, 1.6 seconds ahead of Stuart McFadden in second place. But Zane Shepelevsky wants to put pay to that, as Hadfield puts 2 wheels on the grass in the background on the exit of that left-hander. Is Cheppy going to look up the inside? Got a bit of damage to the front of his car, Shepelevsky, actually. Maybe that came when he hit Stuart McFadden into the chicane last time around. Out of the right-hander there. Just going to work out the numbers. That was turn 7. Now through this corner named turn 8, which isn't really a corner at all, really. And now through turn 9, Cheppy versus McFadden. Bulgarian versus Scotsman. Discovery versus Automech, and we're going to discover who's going to have the position here. Round the outside goes Shepelevsky, and as him through back into second place, however with a gap of 2.2 seconds to Diogo Mauro up front. With 9 minutes left on the clock. Is that too surmountable for Sterling Shepelevsky to try and get this win as they head through turn 12? McFadden's not giving up though. And you can see that Adam Hadfield's right in the mix there as well. Hadfield having a little bit of a look there going into the first corner. All change as Adam Delmont is on the grass, as well as Tristan Bodice. All kicking off there, and Adam Delmont dropping down the order. You can see his Youth Energy teammates going by, and Adam McNally and Jamie Ayres. Adam Delmont, who I believe has been on the podium this season. Yes, he has. He's been on the podium once. That was the second place in race 9 of the season at Watkins Glen. And how well is he doing? Oh, well, on position. I think he could have been higher up the order if it wasn't for what looked like a slowdown penalty. Side by side here between Jamie Ayres and Julian Janowski. Janowski trying to get some positions back here. His battle's over 12th and 13th, 11th and 12th I should say actually, bunching up going into turn 7 there. Nice gaggle of cars. Bodice getting past also Dave Crozier just up in front of these guys. And we might have to turn our attention to the battle for second place, because Shepelevsky is all over McFadden, and McFadden gets hit by Hadfield. McFadden into the gravel. Hadfield's, I think, going to do the courteous thing and wait for Stuart McFadden. Here comes Ben Hackerson to take advantage of all this. He's now going to be in 3rd place, and McFadden rejoins in 4th. Hadfield now down in 5th, and here comes Rob Plumley. He might fancy his chances of getting more positions here. Up 5 positions already, Rob Plumley, and now he's joining on to this lead quintet. And that battle, they're going into that chicane. It was side by side between Shepelevsky and McFadden, and Hadfield just getting into the back of him. And yeah, trip through the gravel for McFadden. Diogo Mauro really is just going to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. 3.1 seconds now is the gap between himself and Sterling Shepelevsky. Janowski makes contact with Jamie Ayres. Just saw that and them both. That was a bit of retributive. What are you playing at, mate? And almost tries to reverse into him. And Janowski, if he'd already been off, I'm sure he's got enough damage now. Back to the pits goes Jamie Ayres, and you've got to say that's probably going to be a penalty. for the next race meeting. We do have stewards in this championship, and they will apply the penalty that they see fit. But for me, that definitely looked like an avoidable collision. And Julian Janowski involved in contacts with a wall the first time, and this time with another car. And yeah, not what he wanted at all there. It means we've now got 6 cars in the pits, and I wonder if Julian Janowski might have to make a visit there at the end of the lap. Plumley versus Hadfield then. Rob Plumley, driving for ProSim, has not won a race yet this season. ProSim have won a race. That was Julian Janowski in race 6 of the season at Suzuka. Rob Plumley has been on the podium though. Was on the podium last week in race 17 at Sonoma. And he fancies the chances of working his way up the top 5 inside the closing stages of this race. He's got a Radicals online car in front of him in Hadfield, who has been second twice this season, second in race 5 at Suzuka and race 13 at Phillip Island. And as I predicted, Julian Janowski has made a visit into the pits, so ProSim driver not doing well at all. Tristan Bollis versus Cesare Rizzo. Close there, the GBR car, Brit Modeler, up the inside going into turn 6. And that is him into 7th place now, again at 12 positions. GBR car just keeps marching on, it seems here. And side by side in the background, it looks like between, that's the 2 Adams, I think. No, it isn't, it's Dave Crozier and Adam McNally. McNally trying to get 9th place. Side by side between Team Mad and Youth Energy. Into the chicane, and Adam McNally looks like he's got the position, so that is him through into 9th place at 12 positions. Good drive through the field by a whole load of these guys. Rizzo at 12 positions too. Tristan Bollis also at 12 positions to 7th place. Helped of course by quite a few incidents that have occurred during this race today. How long have we got in the race? 4 minutes. Here comes the other Youth Energy car of Adam Delmont. Up the inside, the 2 Adams siving their way through the field here. And that is him through. Kip Stevens gets past Dave Crozier as well, so it's been an awful half a lap for Dave Crozier in that Team Mad car. Was in 9th a moment ago. Now down in 12th place. How quickly things can change in this championship. Ben Hackerson is right with Stelin Shepelevsky. This is the battle for the runners-up spots. Car 69 versus car 7. Ben Hackerson driving for Brit Modeler as well. Stelin Shepelevsky, the championship leader. Obviously fell behind after that battle. What led the opening lap of the race? Stelin Shepelevsky looks like he's going to have to concede it here. Ben Hackerson through. You can see he's got definitely the cleaner car. And now it's Ben Hackerson through into 2nd place. Rob Plumley versus Hadfield as well, going into the chicane. Up the inside goes Hadfield into turn 10A. And through 10B, the Radicals car. Holding off Plumley for now. That's him still in 5th place. Plumley in 6th. Can Shepelevsky do anything though inside the final 3.5 minutes here in race 1? Hackerson, Shepelevsky nearly locks the rears going into the first corner, turn 1. And now we begin our rise up the hill into turn 3. Now through turn 4, 5, the S's. Shepelevsky do anything here about Ben Hackerson? If Hackerson was to stay in this position, this would be his 2nd runners-up spot of the season, or 2nd in race 4 of the year at Suzuka. Has finished 3rd, did that in race 1 of the year at Brands Hatch. So I think 3rd is going to be, 2nd, sorry, is going to be his best position for now. Don't rule out Stuart McFadden in all of this either. He's close to these guys inside the closing stages, picking up a toe. Hackerson moving across. Shepelevsky, is he going to cut back to the outside into the chicane at 10A and 10B? Is he going to have a lunge? Maybe he might wait till the last lap, but Hackerson holding on for now, going into the chicane. And no changes in the battle between Hadfield and Plumley. They get to the line, there's going to be 2 minutes left on the clock, so 2 laps to go at this circuit, so it's just under 85 seconds a lap round here. Yogo Mara 3.3 seconds ahead up the road now, because of Hackerson and Shepelevsky's squabble over the runners-up spot. 15-minute race here. You can really punish the tyres. What are the temperatures like? It's 28 degrees Celsius here, the track temperature. Of course, it'll be higher when we get to race 2, and it's the afternoon conditions there, and the sun is at its highest. And yeah, race 3, late afternoon conditions as well. That is how the championship work. The other battles going on inside the closing stages of the race. Looks like it's all settled down outside the top 8. So this battle between Hakkisen and Shepelevsky definitely seems to be the closest one we've got on track at the moment. Into turn 7. Now up the hill. See what speeds these guys can reach. Shepelevsky in the tow. Already gone past 200 kilometers per hour. These Kiotsmas definitely can pack a punch. 140 kilometers per hour, Stalin Shepelevsky. 146 just before hitting the brakes into the chicane at 10A and 10B. Gonna have one more lap to try and get here. I'll tell you, Ben Hakkisen set the fastest lap in this race. Sign of his pace around this circuit. In all fairness, Diogo Mauro, our race leader, his best lap time in the race was only 0.004 of a second slower. Side by side between Hadfield and Plumley then. Plumley's going to go for it into the first corner. How do they not make contact there? That is so close. This is all for a top 5 spot in the race. Hadfield defending the inside. Is he going to go for a cut back? Rob Plumley, he's going to try. Oh, Hadfield forcing him out wide. And Plumley has to slot back into 6th place for now. He will have another shot going down the back straight. But he's going to have to try and get onto the rear of that Radicals car going into turn 7. What about Hakkisen versus Shepelevsky though? Into turn 7 for the final time. Hakkisen running out onto those curves on the exit. Shepelevsky squared off the corner a bit better. Might give him a better straight line speed. And here he comes. The battle for second place coming to a head here. Shepelevsky on the outside, Hakkisen on the inside. GBR versus Discovery, the 2 top teams in the championship. Shepelevsky goes around the outside and takes second place back on the final lap of the race. Diogo Melro though, coming through the final corner, and race 19 of the BSR Kia Cup Series will go to Diogo Melro. Plumley is taken 5th away from Hadfield as well. What's happened there? Second for Hakkisen, second for Shepelevsky, 3rd for Hakkisen, 4th for McFadden, 5th is going to be Rob Plumley. What happened between those guys going into the chicane? And I tell you what, it looks like we've had a whole load of shenanigans here. Just looking on the replay, Plumley was in the tow. Oh, Hadfield forces him onto the marbles, and Plumley hits the wall, skates across the wall at a fair rate of knots. And I think Hadfield is in the position out of courtesy. Indeed he does. And he did that after him and McFadden made contact as well earlier on, didn't he? So Adam Hadfield being getting the Courteous Driver Award, the Deed of the Day Award maybe. And Plumley gets the 5th place in the end. Running at the top 10 are Rizzo, McNally and Delmont. An interesting first race. Good battles as well. All the way to the end there. And let's run you through the finishing order then. Diogo Melro takes the win, 4 seconds ahead of Stalin Shepelevsky in the end. And that is Diogo Melro's, that is his 2nd win of the season for Discovery. And that is his 2nd win from pole position. So 100% pole to win rates for Diogo Melro. 2nd for Stalin Shepelevsky, 3rd for Ben Hakkisen, 4th for Stuart McFadden, 5th Rob Plumley, 6th for Adam Hadfield, 7th for Tristan Bodis, 8th for Cesare Rizzo, 9th Adam McNally, and 10th Kip Stevens, 11th Dave Crozier, 12th Gavin Wakefield, after starting in 22nd place, 13th for Jason Greenfield, 14th Peter Van Gool, 15th Max Wright, 16th Stephen Baxter, 17th Maciek Sakovic, 18th for Adam Delmont, 19th Lee Barmer, and 20th Julian Janowski. 2 cars, 1 lap down, Jamie Ayres and Thomas Gibson, and both of them will be eligible for the reverse grid, which we'll bring to you in a moment. Stalin Shepelevsky gets his 3rd second place of the year, and that is his 9th podium of 19 races. So he's been on the podium the most times out of any driver, and he was on the podium again today. And that is Discovery's 9th pole position of the season, their 8th win and their 21st podium after a 1-2 for their 2 drivers. Right then, bringing the reverse grid then. We've got almost a strong likelihood of a full reverse grid due to the fact that we've only got 22 cars here today. And Sam Kuma will now spin the wheel, and we'll find out who's going to be. So it is exactly a full. Gibson won race 18 of the season at Sonoma. He's going to be on pole position here, and that is his first pole position of the season. So Thomas Gibson on pole. Second is going to be Jamie Ayres, Julian Janowski third, Lee Balmer fourth, and Adam Delmont in fifth. So he who shall be last shall be first, quite literally here. And join us after the break, where we're going to get set for race 2 of the day, race 20 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. Join us in a few moments.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides in at a 4, who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for the race 2 today here at Road Atlanta, race 20 of the season. Thomas Gibson's going to be starting on the pole position. The privateer already has a win to his name this season at Sonoma in race 3 and has been on the podium at Phillip Island in a race 3 there. And he gets a second win of the season. Thomas Gibson, one of 12 drivers that have been able to win so far in the 20 races, in the 19 races that we've had in the BSR Kia Cup Series. And those drivers are Chepelevsky with 5, Hackerson with 3, Hugo Melro bagging his most recent win in race 1, Lewis Bibby with 1, and everyone else with 1 as well. Nathan Davis, the privateer, Julian Janowski, Peter Van Gool for Youth Energy, Justin Bodis for GBR, Paul Smith, Craig Evans, Alex Lauritsen, and the aforementioned Thomas Gibson. Those are all the winners we've had this season. Warm-up session on at the moment. We've got the afternoon conditions in full effect here. 30 degrees track temperature, 23 degrees ambient temperature, and another 15-minute race in prospects. Cars that will be starting from the lane for this one. Some of these drivers might not be on the grid. Eddie King, who isn't here. Craig Evans, who isn't here. Ian Roskell, who isn't here. Jackie Ottoman isn't here either. Neither's Lewis Bibby. Alex Lauritsen, the winner of a race 3 at Phillip Island, isn't here. He's supposed to be starting on the pit lane. And Cesare Rizzo, who is here. So we could have one pit lane starter here for this second race here at Atlanta. The drivers are just not wanting to participate in this race at all. After this race meeting at Road Atlanta, we head to Lime Rock Park, as I was saying, Circuit Zolder in Belgium, and Imola, Sebring, and Silverstone to end the season. Of course, tomorrow on Apex Racing TV, IMSA Sports Car Series at 4:45 GMT, the BSR Mazda MX-5 Cup at 8 o'clock GMT, and the Club 73 Touring Car Championship at 8:30. And then Monday, we've got the Porsche Cup. That's at 7:45, I think. Then Rick Mattek Sports Car Series, as a whole load of drivers go off. McFadden onto his roof. Yeah, the Rick Mattek Sports Car Series at somewhere is underway at 2 AM GMT, and then of course the BSR Formula Renault Series, 8 PM GMT for that one. And then the BSR TC Winter Series, 8 PM GMT, as Sane Chepelevsky goes off into the Georgia countryside. A few pig crashes occurring here in the warm-up. Gamera rolling down the hill on the exit of turn 10B. I wonder what's going to be happening in this race. This is the foreshadowing of what's to come. Running through the starting grid then. Thomas Gibson on pole position, 2nd Jamie Ayres, 3rd Julian Janowski, 4th Lee Barmer, 5th is Adam Delmont, 6th Maciej Sakovic, 7th is Stephen Baxter, 8th Max Wright, 9th Peter Van Gool, and 10th Jason Greenfield, 11th Gavin Wakefield, 12th Dave Crozier, 13th Kip Stevens, 14th Adam McNally, 15th Cesare Rizzo, 16th Tristan Bodis, 17th Adam Hadfield, 18th Rob Plumley, 19th Stuart McFadden, 20th Ben Hackerson, 21st Daniel Chepelevsky, and 22nd Diogo Melro. It is a direct reverse of the results from race 1 and what is going to happen in the second race. Thomas Gibson already got a win to his name this season, so has Julian Janowski. Jamie Ayres yet to win this season. Teammates that Youth Energy have, can he do it? Lee Barmer also yet to win a race as well. So quite a few drivers in search for a win. I doubt Sane Chepelevsky and Diogo Melro will be able to make it anywhere near the top 5. Here we go then. Second race of the day. Lights on and we're away. Good start by the car starter of Lee Barmer, but it looks like he might get shuffled out here. Who's that? Radicals car's got a good start. Car 888, Stephen Baxter already up into 4th place, could be 3rd into the first corner. Gibson sideways, makes the corner though. Off is Lee Barmer, and he's been collected by a whole load of cars, and it's all gone horribly wrong here. Dave Crozier has been collected, and so is Adam McNally. And those cars already involved in strife. Rob Plumley trying to negotiate his way through the mix. Down through the S's, contact for the lead. Gibson hit by Janowski. Well, Julian, you had contact there earlier on, and you've had contact there again. And poor Thomas Gibson, who had won earlier in the season, it's all gone horribly wrong for him within a few corners of the start. Julian Janowski leads, then Stephen Baxter up into second place. Adam Delmont in third, fourth Jamie Ayres, fifth is Max Wright, sixth Peter Van Gool going into turn 7. And 7th it's Kip Stevens, 8th Tristan Bodice, 9th Jim McFadden, and then 10th Gavin Wakefield, and all sorts of shenanigans kicking off on the exit of turn 7 there. McFadden battling away with Hadfield and Stelin Chepelevsky. Of course, these guys were all at the top of the grid in race 1. And they're battling away down the back straight towards the chicane. Full line astern in front of them. Who's going to have it here? McFadden versus Hadfield versus Chepelevsky going into the chicane at turn 10A. Hadfield up the inside of McFadden. Chepelevsky might try and benefit. McFadden back up the inside through turn 10B. And now here comes Chepelevsky up the inside through turn 11 and into turn 12. Into the pits goes Thomas Gibson. Such a shame for Gibson. I wonder if Janowski will have another penalty thrown on top of him for that one. I don't know. It was almost a mirror incident of what he did in race 1 earlier. A great battle between those guys who are at the top of the order in race 1 then. Opening lap completed. Janowski leading the way. Stephen Baxter second, third Adam Delmont, fourth Ayres, fifth Max Wright, sixth is Peter Van Gool, seventh Kip Stevens, eighth Tristan Bodice, ninth Gavin Wakefield, and 10th Jim McFadden. What did I say about doubting that those guys could get in the top 5? With 12 minutes to go, there's still plenty of time for them to get there. They're just on the fringes of the top 10 already. McFadden up 9 positions, Sheppy up 10, Hadfield up 11, up 5, and Diogo Mero up 9 positions. Quite a few starting to fall behind Jamie Ayres here. Ayres in 4th place, down 2 positions. Started on the front row for Youth Energy. His Youth Energy teammate Adam Delmont is up the road in front of him. Delmont has had a 2nd place to his name this season in race 9 of the season at Watkins Glen. Currently in 3rd place here. Max Wright goes up the inside then into the chicane, turn 10A. Jamie Ayres down a position, nearly collecting his teammate in the process. Here comes Kip Stevens up the inside through the 2nd part of the chicane. Looks like Peter Van Gool will be able to hold on here for the time being. Car 64 also in the background there, the Brit modeler car of Tristan Bodice. Also battle for the lead on. Stephen Baxter versus Julian Janowski into the first corner. Car 888 versus car 48. And it doesn't look like it's going to be too easy. Janowski holding on. We've seen the offensive side of Julian Janowski. Now we're going to see the defensive side here. Car off, it's a Youth Energy car. It's Peter Van Gool taking a trip through the grass. That's surely going to be a slowdown penalty for him. And he'll lose out shortly to Tristan Bodice, who gets through there into turn 5. And now he's got Stuart McFadden for company. There's Jamie Ayres, I do apologise for that penalty. Where's Adam Hadfield gone? Adam Hadfield, he's off at turn 5. What's happened here? Just looking on a replay, you're side by side with car 84, that's Diogo Melro. Loses it on entry into turn 5, and that is one of the reasons why I hate this Road Atlanta circuit. It's because of incidents like that. And Jamie Ayres was off as well, so Van Gool, slowdown penalty, and then off the other Youth Energy car, not going well at all there. Baxter closing up on the braking then into the chicane. Janowski sideways through turn A and turn B. Baxter up the inside into turn 11. Janowski's going to try and do his best to stop him. Through turn 12. Janowski around the outside. And this is just going to allow Adam Delmont to get into the mix here. 3 wide into the first corner. Stephen Baxter cuts him off. Defensive driving there, working well by Stephen Baxter. And Janowski's able to hold on to the lead. We've got 10 more minutes of this. Riveting stuff here in race 20 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. Max Wright in 4th, 5th is Kip Stevens, 6th Bodice. Then it is McFadden in 7th, getting chased by Stelin Chepelevsky. Those two are 2 positions away from the top 5. Wow. What can Stephen Baxter do though? He's gone a bit wide on the exit of turn 5, opening himself up to attack from Delmont, who's only 2/10 of a second behind, going into turn 6. 2 90-degree right-handers. Bit of a loop here. We're racing in the Mazda MX-5s around this circuit in the BSRTC Winter Series and the MX-5 Cup. We were running the short circuit. Takes about 20 seconds off the lap. Well, it looked like Stephen Baxter was going to go for the lead. However, now he's going to make sure that he doesn't lose 2nd place here, because Adam Delmont wants that 2nd place. Who's going to be latest on the brakes then? Into the chicane at turn 10A. Baxter up the inside and maintains the second place for now. And Adam Delmont's car 77, the Youth Energy driver, still remains in that third position. There are battles going on in the circuit as we start lap 5 of the race. I'll tell you that in the pits, cars have made trips to the pits. Thomas Gibson, Cesare Rizzo, Dave Crozier, Adam McNally and Lee Barmer. Most of those guys will almost certainly have picked up new cars, which is part of the rules of the series. You do get a fast repair, which gives you a new car and then you get on your way. And that's helped those guys out a fortune. Bakovic versus Van Gool going through the S's. It looks like Van Gool's also lost a position to Rob Plumley. So a few position changes going on there. That was over 13th, 14th and 15th place. Through turn 7 then, Adam Delmont on Stephen Baxter again. The gap between Janowski and Baxter, 0.6 of a second. And then it's another 0.6 back to Delmont in third. Tell you what, though, Stuart McFadden in the background definitely looks like he wants to take 6th place away from Tristan Bodice. Building up the speed here down the back straight. Is McFadden going to duck out at the last minute to go to the inside? Looks like Bodice is thinking about defending the inside. McFadden on the inside then. Into the chicane. Side by side they go through turn A and 10B. Bakovic will try and get the run on the exit. This will allow the 69 car of Steny Chepelevsky to close in on these guys. And Tristan Bodice now starting to lose touch with the cars in front after starting to get involved in this battle here. 7 minutes to go. Just gone past the halfway mark in the race. The inside goes McFadden. Bodice might get hung out to dry here. Cheppy's going through the middle. Nearly goes through the middle, I should say. McFadden through. Now Chepelevsky trying to get past as quick as he can. Diogo Mauro also in the mix there. Our race 1 winner. That is McFadden now through into 6th place. 13 positions from the start. Let's not forget that Diogo Mauro started in stone dead last. He is now in 9th place. Gavin Wakefield's had a crash on the circuit. He's now in the pits. Don't know what's happened to Gavin, but yeah, he was in 11th place at the start of the lap, but now he's in the pit lane. Adam Hadfield also in the pits too. But these two might have been involved in something a few moments ago. Let's just try and have a look. Just looking on the replay, Gavin Wakefield going into turn 3. He was off the racing line. Oh dear. Now that is unfortunate. Wakefield, I think, does he put 2 wheels on the grass on the exit turn 3? Yep, car turns across and poor Adam Hadfield has nowhere to go. And that's why those two guys are back in the pits. Battle for the lead then, Janowski versus Baxter. Through turn 12. It looks like that Baxter has taken the lead and Delmont will want 2nd place too. What's going on in the background? Bodice and Chepelevsky are gone. Championship leader Steny Chepelevsky and Tristan Bodice were battling over the position. Looking on the replay, Bodice puts 2 wheels onto the curb, tries to rescue the car, and poor Chepelevsky, just innocent victim in all of that. And Chepelevsky looks like he's come off the better of the 2 cars. Bodice's car looks like it's limping home. That puts Chepelevsky down to 15th place. Still 6 positions higher than where he started, to be fair. This battle for the lead, it's now... how many cars are in this battle? We've got 8 cars. From Stephen Baxter down to Ben Hackerson in 8th. Janowski hits Baxter. Well, he's a Magnus at the moment, isn't he, Julian Janowski? And this is just going to cause more chaos inside this top 8. Max Wright now bump drafting Janowski down the back straight. 2 wide. Could we possibly go 3 wide? There's a Pro Sim driver of car of Kip Stevens in the mix there as well. Max Wright up into 2nd. Janowski will try and hold it out. You know he will. Into the chicane. Baxter's just praying that he's able to hold on to the lead. Blown engine for someone. It's Janowski. Janowski goes straight on. That is his race definitely run. He's in the way of the drivers as well. Baxter's now going to get halted on the exit because he had to run into the back of Janowski, and that's going to allow Adam Delmont to take the lead into the final corner. Side by side between Max Wright and Stuart McFadden. McFadden now up in 4th place. Diogo Mauro in 5th. Gets into the back of Stuart McFadden going into turn 1. And Stephen Baxter wants that lead back as well, going into turn 1 at the start of lap 8. Julian Janowski out. Blown engine. A new running order then. Delmont leading. second Baxter, third Max Wright, fourth Diogo Melro, fifth Kip Stevens, sixth Joe McFadden, seventh Ben Hackerson. We've lost one car from that train, and that is Julian Janowski, who blew that engine at the end of the back straight. Easy to do. Baxter gets a good run on the exit of turn 5, through to turn 6. Can the Radicals Online car take the lead away from the Youth Energy car? Hard to get a move done around the outside of there, to be fair. Because even if you do, you're then hung out to drive through this corner. Baxter tries, gets nudged wide, contacts with right off into the wall. All happening in turn 7 today. Max Wright, I think, will get the car going again, but now it's 6 cars in this train. Kip Stevens now trying to take second place away from Stephen Baxter. It's one step forward, one step back for Baxter at the moment. Trying to take the lead, then ends up losing a position when someone tries to have a move at him. Stevens up the inside and up into second. Ben Hackerson wants his piece of the action as well. Fastest lap of the race is currently being held by Diogo Melro. 3.5 minutes to go. Max Wright's got back going again in 11th place. Such a shame for the Automex driver. He had been on pole position earlier in the season in race 3 at Interlagos. His Automex teammate Craig Evans won a race at Phillip Island, race 2. And he could have been able to shout a win there if it wasn't for that bit of contact. Coming up on lap traffic now, just to put straight masses for these leaders. They've got Cesaro Rizzo and our pole sitter Thomas Gibson just a bit up the road. They could be attacking them in the next few laps. I believe this could be the penultimate lap. We'll see what the times are like when we get back to the line. And we've got 14 cars running out of the 20. 14 cars still going that haven't made a pit stop yet in this race. 2 cars currently in the pits, Barmer and Hadfield. Looks like even when you blow an engine, you do get a brand new car. So Julian Janowski is back out on the track. I thought that was him out of the race, but he's back going again. Now Kip Stevens, gunning for the race lead here. Said to us before the race, he'd try and make it entertaining for us, and he is so now. Kip Stevens lays on the brakes into the chicane. Delmont trying his best. Baxter hits him. Oh dear. That's all 3 of them gone. Who's leading the race now? It's Diogo Melro. And I have to say, amateur hour here in the BSR Kia Cup Series. Before Baxter just came from a long way back. Came from a long way back, was battling with Melro, hits Delmont. Kip Stevens just gets innocently both Delmont and Stevens both innocently involved in that. And just to factor into the equation here, we had an 8-car train here about 2 laps ago. Now there's 3 of them. Remarkable. Even Baxter's been disqualified, I do believe. Adam Delmont's had to retire back to the pits. So unfortunate there. And it looks like we're going to have a race 1 and race 2 winner, unless Stuart McFadden can do anything about Diogo Melro. Melro yet to win a race 2 this season. Discovery, how many times have they won a race 2 this season? And categorically say they haven't. So this is going to be a first for them if Diogo Melro can hold on. All of Discovery's wins have come in either race 1 or race 3. Diogo Melro only ever won from pole position. Like he could be about to win from a reverse grid, and literally he's gone from first to last and last to first. Ordinary. We're going to come around and start the final lap of the race then. Through the turn 10A and turn 10B, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, Diogo Melro's going to start the last lap. What can Stuart McFadden do about it though? Can he do anything to stop Diogo Melro from taking the win and get Automech their 2nd win of the season? Then Shepelevsky battling away with Max Wright. Those going through the final chicane, both those cars look absolutely wrecked. Max Wright getting turned around by Stephen Baxter, of course. And Stelian Shepelevsky got innocently involved in Tristan Bottas's mess. And now we've only got 12 cars running that haven't made a trip to the pits. Max Wright trying to get past Stelian Shepelevsky. The way through. It's the battle of the damaged cars here. And just behind them they've got Dave Crozier. Checking back at the front then with just a few laps to go. All looking pretty much stalemate here in terms of the top 3, unless McFadden can get a brilliant run on the exit of turn 7. The gap's 0.4 of a second. Take that 3. Using the slipstream here. And he closed in by the time we get to the chicane. We've seen Stephen Baxter try from further back than this. Into the chicane for the final time. McFadden goes for it. He goes for it up the inside of Melrose. Contact made. Melrose onto the grass, comes back on. Bang, contact again, and Melrose's been turned around. Ben Hackison's going to take the lead and will most surely take his 4th win of the season through the final corner. Remarkable turn of events here, and Ben Hackison takes the checkered flag, wins race 2 of the day, race 20 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. Stuart McFadden will take 2nd place. Who's going to take 3rd? It's Kip Stevens. 4th for Maciek Sakovic, 5th for Rob Plumley, 6th for Peter Van Gool, 7th Jamie Ayres, and a very angry Diogo Melrose is going to come across the line in 8th place. The Portuguese driver is going to be livid with that. Czepelewski 9th and Max Wright 10th. Wow, what a race. What an absolute thriller there at Road Atlanta. And I'm sure a whole load of penalties will be handed out. Jim McFadden may keep that win. He had 3 points on his BSR licence going into this race meeting. I'm sure 3 points might be added on top of that. Lunged up the inside going into the final chicane. Forced Melrose onto the grass. Melrose came back across him and quarter panel for good measure sent Diogo Melrose away. Both of those drivers were lucky not to get disqualified. And just when you think this series never fails to amaze, or this car actually for that matter, and it's still not over. Thomas Gibson versus Cesare Rizzo. Both these cars have made trips to the pits. Our pole sister Thomas Gibson as well, of course, going into the chicane. And Cesare Rizzo going through turn 10B now. There'll be a drag race to the line here. The Italian versus the Northern Irishman. In the final corner, and Rizzo will take that 13th place, 14th for Gibson. I tell you that after that contact, Jim McFadden on 9 incidents. Diogo Melrose finished on a 9 as well, so that's where most of their incidents came from. But the driver's chat has been enabled in the sim, and I wonder what sort of matters are going to be kicking off there. Quite a few questionable moves in this race. We're running through the finishing order then. Ben Hackison wins his 4th race of the season. Won race 1 at Watkins, race 3 at Watkins, race 2 at Sonoma, and he's backed it up with a race 2 win here at Road Atlanta. 2nd for Stuart McFadden, 3rd for Kip Stevens, the Pro Sim driver. That is Kip Stevens, his 3rd podium of the season. Maciek Sakovic 4th, 5th Rob Plumley, 6th Peter Van Gool, 7th Jamie Ayres after starting on the front row, 8th Diogo Melrose, 9th Stelling Czapelewski. Just when it looked like Discovery were going to make it 2 wins out of 2, that happened in the final chicane. And then Max Wright running up the top 10. Jason Greenfield finishing 11th, 12th Tristan Bodice, 13th Cesare Rizzo, 14th Thomas Gibson, our pole sitter, the last car on the lead lap, and the car's 1 lap down or more. Dave Crozier, Adam Delmont, Adam McNally, Gavin Wakefield, and Julian Janowski, the last car on the lead lap, 1 lap down I should say, and then the car's 3 laps down or more. Stephen Baxter disqualified for his shenanigans down at turn 10A. Adam Hadfield was out after the crash at the S's, and Lee Barmer around in turn 1 after he had such a brilliant start, and yeah, that happened. What a race! So many talking points. Great. GBR take their together. They take their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th win of the season. Ben Hackison's 4th. I don't think he's done it in any more dramatic fashion than that. Well then, time for the 3rd and final reverse grid of the day. What's race 3 going to throw up? Hand it over to Sam Kumo, who's going to spin the wheel. We're going to find out who's going to be on pole position for race 21 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. '26. Well, obviously that's off the scale. So I don't know what the race organisers are going to do. Are they going to do it based on the car that's last car 1 lap down? In that case, it'll be Julian Janowski. Or are we going to do it based on the car that finished stone dead last, which was Lee Barmer? Either way, those guys are going to be the ones that are going to be on, that could be on pole position. We'll wait to see what happens. And after the 2 races that we've had tonight, you don't want to miss the final race of the day. Join us in a few moments here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for race 21 of the BSR Kia Cup Series.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Been a crazy 2 races, hasn't it? Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live for the final race of the day, race 21 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. We're here at Road Atlanta today, and yeah, it's been crazy to say the least. Diogo Mauro winning race 1. Looked like he was going to win race 2 until the final corner when Stuart McFadden decided to come from a long way back, forced Diogo Mauro off. Mauro came back on, the two collided. Mauro got quarter panels around, and Ben Hackerson just saw it all go wrong in front of him, and he came through and took his 4th win of the season. I doubt he'll be able to do the same in race 3, but then I doubted that McFadden and co wouldn't make it inside the top 5 in race 2, so plenty to go on in this race 3. Late afternoon conditions again, and yeah, 15-minute and another 15-minute race these drivers to negotiate, and absolute chaos really inside the final half of the race. We had a train of 8 cars all battling away for the lead. That just got whittled down lap after lap, didn't it? With crashes, disqualifications, and eventually we had yeah, 3 cars battling for the lead, and then yeah, that's where it all went wrong between McFadden and Melrose. Mauro finished, I think, just inside the top 10 at the end of that. Okay, this season, Melrose has been on pole position the most times, with 4. Chapelevsky 3, Gavin Wakefield next with 2, along with Kip Stevens. Most wins, Stelin Chapelevsky, 5 wins to his name. Hasn't won a race though since race 1 at Sonoma, race 16 of the championship. Ben Hackerson, 2nd in most wins, picked up 4. And picked up his most recent one in race 2 just a few minutes ago. Diogo Mauro with 2, and then after that we got Bibby, Davis, Janowski, Van Gool, Bodis, Smith, Evans, Lauritsen and Gibson with 1. Discovery with 9 pole positions to their name this season. Racing with 3, and yeah, Discovery out of the just looking out of the 60 podium spots that we've had up for grabs this season, Discovery have taken 21 of them. Nearly half of them. That's quite remarkable, really. Of course, they've got big drivers in their arsenal, the likes of Chapelevsky, Melrose, Lauritsen, who picked up a win earlier this year, and Cesare Rizzo, who has been on the pole position once this season. I was at race 3 at Sonoma. He yet to contribute a win to the fold. Not too long to go for the end of the warm-up. Checker flag is out now. And we're yet to find out who's going to be on reverse grid pole. I was trying to work out who it was before the end, but are they going to do it based on, because the reverse grid number was higher than the amount of cars we got on track, are they going to do it based on who was stone dead last, or who was the last car lead lap down? 1 lap down, I should say. Down to the grid we go then. Pole position goes to Julian Janowski. Didn't expect that. That is the last car on the lead, 1 lap down, I should say, actually. Gavin Wakefield 2nd, Adam McNally 3rd, Adam Delmont 4th, Dave Crozier 5th, 6th Thomas Gibson, 7th Cesare Rizzo, 8th Tristan Bodis, 9th Jason Greenfield, and 10th Max Wright. The 2 Discovery cars starting in the midfield, Chapelevsky 11th and Melrose 12th, Jamie Ayres 13th, Peter Van Gool 14th, Rob Plumley 15th, 16th for Maciek Sakovic, 17th for Kip Stevens, 18th McFadden, 19th Hackerson, our race 2 winner, and then Baxter, Hadfield and Barmer running out the grid. Cannot call who's going to win this actually. Janowski, he had plenty of opportunities to win it in race 2, but it all went wrong for him. This is Pro Sim's 4th pole position. None of them have yielded race wins. Could this be their day? Janowski has won a race though earlier. Race 6 at Suzuka. He win race 21 here at Road Atlanta. Race 3. Green lights on, we're away for the final time tonight. Janowski looks like he gets a good jump away from the line. What's going to happen with Gavin Wakefield though? Looks like Wakefield might have got a better jump here. So he's going to lead going into turn 1. It is going to be Gavin Wakefield. Wakefield turns in and goes off. 0 to 0. Around goes Delmont. Everyone else seems to go off in avoidance. Off is car 64, Tristan Bodis. I've got 5 or 6 cars off here. Thomas Gibson, the pole sitter from race 2 off. Jamie Ayres, 2 Youth Energy cars involved. Rob Plumley's already got damage and he hasn't even got to turn 1. Cesare Rizzo starting from the pit lane. And, oh well, all sorts kicking off there. Cold conditions, of course, 25 degrees. Jason Greenfield has already gone back to the pits. 0-0 moment there. And Gavin Wakefield now down in 19th place. But it's Julian Shanovsky that leads, second Adam McNally, third Dave Crozier. Stelian Chepelevsky's up to 4th already, ladies and gentlemen. Started in 10th place. 11th place, I should say. But yeah, he's already up into that position. What's gone on with Diogo Melro? He's not on my timing screens. What's happened to the Portuguese? Please don't tell me he's got disqualified already. Just looking on my timing screens, what's happened here? I think he has actually been disqualified. Yeah, he's reached the disqualification limit already. One of the quickest disqualifications I've ever seen, for that matter. Up the inside goes Maciek Sakovic on Peter Van Gool, going into the chicane then for the first time. That's Hadfield through. That's a Sakovic through into 5th place already. Up 11 positions. Tell you what, these drivers have done a good job avoiding all the carnage that was going on in that first corner, which we're heading to now to start lap 2. Chepelevsky up the inside of car 36. That's Dave Crozier. I can tell you that Thomas Gibson and Plumley are both into the pits. Chepelevsky sliding his way. Car was sliding towards the wall, but he was able to correct it. Almost a Scandinavian flick going on there by Stelian Chepelevsky. He's now up into the podium positions. I did think when I was reading out the grid that you couldn't rule out Chepelevsky taking another win here. The Discovery cars were only starting in the midfield, and we saw what they could do when they were starting a stone dead last. Cars are in the pits. Gibson, Ayres, Plumley, Rizzo, and out of the race, Melro, and Jason Greenfield has been in the pits for quite some time. Of course, he's got to tow back to the pits from turn 1 as well. Chepelevsky then to try and take second place away from Adam McNally. Chepelevsky has won race 3s in the past. He won race 3 at Brands Hatch in the opening race meeting of the season. Going to get race 3 here at Road Atlanta. Only outside of McNally. Is McNally going to be late on the brakes? Turns in, Chepelevsky on the grass, back across. Doesn't want to do what Melro did when they were battling away on the final lap of race 2 with Hackerson. Chepelevsky back down to 3rd place. That was a first attempt of him trying to get by. You can see just behind Chepelevsky, it's close between 4th and 5th place. That is Crozier versus Sakovic. 2 teammates at Team Mad. The black and yellow livery cars. Then it's Youth Energy's Peter Van Gool and ProSim's Kip Stevens, who was on the podium in race 2. 3rd place for him. In 7th place here. Already up 10 positions. Cars that started inside the top 10 that are still there. We've got 3. And oh my, that's after just all that carnage in turn 1. Crazy. Chepelevsky then lining up Adam McNally for the 2nd time. Energy versus Discovery. Also say that McFadden's got by Kip Stevens. So that's McFadden into 7th place. Now down the back straight. Julian Janowski, 1 second advantage. Chepelevsky doesn't want that to get any bigger. He wants a chance of winning the race. Still not even 5 minutes into the race, but got to really close the gap down. Surely this is going to be Chepelevsky done now. And McNally dive in again. No, he's not. He's going to think better of that. That's Chepelevsky through into 2nd place. Just behind them, it is side by side between Crozier and Van Gool. That's Van Gool past the Team Mad car, and that is Van Gool into 5th place. Crozier down to 6th. Next up is Stuart McFadden. And Chepelevsky 6/10 of a second. Make that half a second behind Julian Janowski now. Fastest lap of the race by Stelian Chepelevsky. That is a 1:24.253. McFadden to the inside of Crozier into turn 1. Crozier is going to try and hold it out around the outside as best as he can, but it looks like the Automech car should have the position into turn 3. That's him through. That is Stuart McFadden now into 6th place. Point biggest mover along with Sakovic and Adam Hadfield. The contact there between Stevens and Hadfield, speaking of Hadfield actually. Those guys battling over 8th and 9th. Oh! Hadfield nearly hits the wall there on the exit of turn 5. Very close to disaster there for the Radicals Online driver. Now he's got his teammate, car 888, Stephen Baxter behind. Then car 7, our race 2 winner, Ben Hackerson, in 11th place. Don't forget, he was 8th in that 8-car train in race 2. He ended up winning the race. So all these guys, it's not inconceivable all these guys will go off. Janowski versus Chepelevsky then. Into the chicane we go. Janowski on the inside. Shepelevsky just going to hold it out around the outside though through turn. Oh, so close to disaster there through turn 10B. And this is just allowing McNally back into the equation, and also Maciek Sakovic. Through the final corner, turn 12, Shepelevsky, new race leader. Can Janowski fight back at all? Looking up the inside, the Pro Sim driver. Going for his second win of the season. Shepelevsky going for win number 10. No, win number 6. Sorry, it'll be his 10th podium he's got done. Dave Crozier down the order. What's happened to Dave? He's now down to 11th place. Was in 8th at the start of the lap. Looks like the two Radicals Online cars have got by. That's Stephen Baxter and Adam Hadfield. And Ben Hackerson's got by past both of them actually. So Ben Hackerson now into 8th place, running wide on the exit though. Just up the road, it looks like Sakovic is up the inside of McNally into turn 6. Over into turn 7 though. Janowski sticking with Stalin Shepelevsky though, so it looks like we could have a race on our hands here. Pushing the halfway mark in this final race of the day. Janowski should pick up the slipstream here, the Pro Sim driver. Could he have a lunge down into the chicane? Turns 10A and B. Shepelevsky's car definitely looks good in the straight line though. Looks like it's going to be as you were in terms of that battle. Into the chicane, any advancements in any of the other battles? Looks like Crozier is battling away with Delmont. And I can tell you that Adam Delmont is a lap down, so that isn't a battle on track. Pepe versus Janowski then. We're at the halfway mark in the race. Stuart McFadden set the fastest lap of the race last time around, 1:24.012. One of the quickest race times we've seen around this circuit today. If you factor into the equation that qualifying times were 1:23.9 by the quickest guys, you see how quick of a lap that was by Stuart McFadden with all the race settings on as well on the car. McFadden's not too far away from Maciek Sakovic and Adam McNally, so yeah, podium is not out of the equation yet for Stuart McFadden. Got a podium in race 2. Runners up spot, could have been a win really, if it wasn't for the disaster with Diogo Melro. And look at that, he's already straight on the back of Maciek Sakovic going through turn 7. You've got to say this could be straight away his best opportunity to try and get the move done. Already at 13 position, Stuart McFadden. Started in 16th, no 18th I should say. Sakovic in front of him started in 16th. He's up 12 positions as well. McFadden trying to go for position gains number 14. And he goes for it straight away, up the inside. Brilliantly done there. To turn 10A. And that is Stuart McFadden now through into 4th place, up 14 positions. Next for him is Adam McNally. See what lap time he does this time actually, going through the final corner. Just a 1:24.021, almost the fastest lap of the race. Just about a 100th of a second slower than being the fastest lap of the race. But the pace of that, last time around that was half a second quicker than Adam McNally. And you can expect McFadden to close up onto the final podium spot over the next 6 minutes. Can't rule out Julian Janowski just yet. Half a second behind Stalin Shepelevsky. The Discovery driver doing well here. The current championship leader. And Janowski definitely closes up through this part of the lap. It seems the Discovery car has a good setup under it, and on the straight line and on the long back straight, looks like Janowski's just not able to get close enough to try anything for a move. The gap closing down. It's down to 0.3 of a second. We'll go down to 2. Unless it's the final lap, I don't think we'll see Janowski having a lunge there. Gets it down to about just 1/10 of a second going into the chicane. So hard to get the car going up the hill. I was in a BMW Z4 driving around this circuit a while ago in an IMSA Sports Car Series race, and it's very difficult there as Janowski overshoots the first corner in his pursuit of trying to get past Stalin Shepelevsky. That goes up to half a second. Fastest lap last time around, fastest lap of the race by Ben Hackerson, 1:23.953. I might actually say that's the quickest lap time we've seen around this circuit today. Definitely quicker than the times we saw in qualifying. Of course, different conditions. Early morning conditions for qualifying earlier. These are late afternoon conditions, probably slightly cooler actually than early morning. Might actually be the same. So yeah, Ben Hackison, 123.953. Whereabouts is he? He's just latched onto the back of Kip Stevens, going into turn 6 and turn 7. You can get a good run on the exit here. The Brit Modeler driver having probably his best race meeting of the season so far. Looks out of the slipstream. Kip Stevens will cover the inside line for turn 9, but it will become the outside for turn 10A and B. Up the inside goes Hackison on the brakes, and 7th position is his. Modeler car then up another position, up 12 positions now. And the biggest movers in our race. Stedin Shepelevsky up 10 positions to the race lead. Stuart McFadden up 14. As off is Janowski again. We turn 1. He's been getting closer and closer to going off, and this time he has, but he's nearly lost 2nd place. Looks like he's been able to hold on to it for now. A flash of the lights by Adam McNally. Janowski were paying any attention in the slightest to that. And now McFadden wants that final spot on the podium. Gets a good run through turn 5. Car going all sorts of all over the place on the exit there. That was another Youth Energy car. That was Peter Van Gool. He's now under pressure from Ben Hackison going into turn 6. And don't rule out Kip Stevens. He's right behind him as well. Van Gool runs wide through turn 7. And that's all that that's all that Hackison needed, and probably all that Kip Stevens needed as well. That's 2 positions gained for those two. And that's Van Gool down to 8th, Stevens up to 7th, and Hackison out up into 6th place. What can McFadden do on this lap about Adam McNally? Not too much, because McNally is going to be picking up the slipstream off the rear of Janowski's car. Stedin Shepelevsky, there are race leaders now, 1.3 second lead as we start the penultimate lap of the race. Stevens versus Van Gool, 2 veterans of the Kia. My first season of the BSR TC back in season 5, that was about summer 2014. These 2 were still racing in the championship then, racing in the Kia. Van Gool got turn 1. My memory is he always did well in race 3s, Peter Van Gool. Was doing well at Spa. I think that was the 2nd race meeting I ever did, and got turned around by one of the Movie-Go cars. That was a flashback from the past. I think it might have been Jamie Rushworth actually, and yeah, he ruled out Van Gool of a podium on that occasion. And now he's right with Kip Stevens, and Hackison escaping up the road. Fadden still right behind Adam McNally, so the 2 Youth Energy cars under pressure here. Now onto the back straight again. Fadden lashed onto the rear of the Youth Energy car of Adam McNally, who's basically where he is, where he started. One of the few drivers that have been able to advance their position. That hasn't been able to advance their position, I should say. Here comes McFadden up the inside into the chicane. Up the inside again will go McNally. Going to be a run over the top of the hill through turn 11 to decide who's going to get this 3rd spot. And it's going to be Stuart McFadden as we come around the final corner to start the last lap of the race. McFadden onto the podium again. Look, it's going to be the 2nd consecutive race for him where he's going to be in the top 3. Unless Adam McNally can fight back at him. Relatively comfortable inside the top 10 here. Shepelevsky leading 0.3 of a second ahead of Janowski. So Janowski's had a blistering last lap. 0.3 of a second quicker than Stedin Shepelevsky, and all of a sudden the battle for the lead looks right back on again here inside the final lap. And you know, if Janowski gets the slightest sniff of a move, he'll go for it. And it's all going to be about the run on the exit of turn 7. The run onto the back straight. Bigamo, the only car out of the race. Everyone else has either been not making a visit to the pits or has made a trip to the pits. That could have come out better. I do apologise. 0.3 of a second between Janowski and Shepelevsky. Down the back straight for the final time. Janowski, a veteran in the World Series, still doing his trade here on Saturday nights. It's going to be a lunge here. You've got to feel it's going to happen. Janowski being conservative in the background. It looks like a move going on there between Van Gool and McNally, who's gone off, and McFadden. Yeah, McNally's going to lose a ton of positions there. The race 3 of the day. It's his first win since Sonoma, and Stanislav Chapelevsky takes race 3. Round 21 of the BSR Kia Cup Series. Second for Julian Janowski. I thought he was going to have a go, to be fair. McFadden gets his second podium in a row. Sakovic 4th, Hackers in 5th. Stevens 6th in the end. 7th Van Gool, 8th Hadfield, 9th Baxter, and Adam McNally finishing in 10th place in the end. It could have been 4th if he hadn't gone off in the final chicane. Who else is still going, actually? Let's have a look. Tristan Bodis just heading through the final corner now. He was one of the cars that was off in the first corner. Gavin Wakefield started second on the grid. He's just heading through the final chicane now. Rob Plumley on his own as well for Pro Sim. One of these cars that went off in the opening corner, really, and they all had to make trips to the pits. Plumley going to get that 15th spot. Thomas Gibson started 6th, he was off. Got 16th place. And then Jamie Ayres, the only Youth Energy driver yet to deliver, and Cesare Rizzo. He's going to get the last spot on the lead lap. Adam Delmont's 1 lap down, Greenfield 1 lap down. Yeah, that's up in there. Wow, what a race meeting. I thought that we were going to be in for a poor few races. Well, that's me just prejudging Road Atlanta because I'm not a big fan of the circuit. But wow, this Kia Cup Series continues to provide brilliant racing on some of the circuits that you wouldn't expect it. Like Sonoma last week saw brilliant racing there. And the same here today, Road Atlanta. Let's run you through the finishing order then. Stanislav Chapelevsky wins. His first win since race 1 at Sonoma, and it is his 6th win of the season. Second for Julian Janowski, 3rd for Stuart McFadden, 4th for Maciej Sakovic, 5th is Ben Hackerson, 6th for Kip Stevens, 7th for Peter Van Gool, 8th Adam Hadfield, 9th Stephen Baxter, and 10th Adam McNally. Cars that started inside the top 10 to finish there, we had 2. 11th for Max Wright, 12th for David Crozier, 13th for Tristan Bodis, 14th for Gavin Wakefield. After starting second, he led for like 2 seconds. Rob Plumley 15th, 16th for Thomas Gibson, 17th Jamie Ayres, 18th Cesare Rizzo, and then the car's 1 lap down or more. Delmont's 1 lap down, Greenfield also a lap down, and Diogo Mauro 11 laps down. Got disqualified within about the opening sector, and Lee Barmer didn't take the start. Oh, what a race meeting. And that's going to have a few penalties should get handed out, I think, going into the next race meeting. Be interesting to see what the stewards decide on all of that. Drivers were running close in their BSR licenses as well. And if you want to get involved in any of the British Sim Racer series, there are plenty that are covered on Apex Racing TV. Well, they're all covered on Apex Racing TV, whether it's this, whether it's the MX5 Cup on Sundays, Formula Renault Tuesdays, the BSRTC on Thursdays, and of course the Pro Series for that starting soon as well. You can find out all the information about that at the BSR website, which is bsrhub.com. Information there, like the standings, the entry list, and also how to get involved. Oh, what a race meeting. Next week is Lime Rock Park, which I think will provide just as much crazy racing there. It's going to be a traffic jam around that circuit, and you can join me. Can you join me actually for that one? No, I don't think I'm going to be around for that one, so we will be here on Apex Racing TV for it, but I won't be here to cover that one. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen there as the championship takes another twist. And of course tomorrow we've got free broadcasts, the IMSA series at 4:45, the MX5 Cup at 8 o'clock, and the Club 73 Touring Car Championship at 8:30 PM GMT. Well, thanks to Sam Kumo on the cameras as always, and thank you for watching the BSR Kia Cup Series. It's been a night to remember for Team Discovery. They discovered how to win in race 1 and race 3. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, good night to you all.